The state regulates everything. What you eat, what you smoke, what you say. But there is one thing it never could control, and that terrifies it.
You regulate my labor, regulate my land, regulate the words I say, regulate where I stand. You tax my income, license my profession, govern every room. But you think you're gonna regulate what happens in the tomb. You are not God, never were, never will be. You're a bureaucracy with a flag and a militia. You didn't author my existence, didn't write the code. You got no jurisdiction over where the sins. I'm told the right to die was mine before your constitution tried, before your borders got drawn, before your first law was signed. Pre-political, pre-social contract, everything you built, my death was always mine, intact.
Stateless death, the state don't own it. Stateless death, never did. Stateless death, you can legislate everything, but you cannot legislate this. Stateless death, stay out of it. Stateless death, it isn't yours. The one thing that falls outside your walls was always mine before.
Forcing someone to live against their will has a name. It's not governance, it's not mercy, it's not compassion for their pain. You put the chains on, dress them up in sacred text, called the prisoner a citizen, and called the self-progressed. The slave owner said, I'm protecting what you need. The state says the same thing with the same hands on the same leash. You don't get to imprison me in the body and call that care. You don't get to lock the exit and pretend the door ain't there. Every day you force me here against my stated will is a day of unpaid slavery, and you're sending me the bill.
Stateless death, the state don't own it. Stateless death, never did. Stateless death, you can legislate everything, but you cannot legislate this. Stateless death, stay out of it. Stateless death, it isn't yours. The one thing that falls outside your walls was always mine before.
Let me be precise about what you're claiming. You're claiming authority over the interior of a human being, over the most intimate decision a conscious creature can make. You're claiming that your legitimacy, which rests on nothing but force, extends into the private sovereign territory of a person's own ending. That is not governance, that is not law, that is not a social contract. That is a God complex wearing a gavel, and you are not God. You are not even close. You are a temporary arrangement of violence and paperwork, and death was here before you and will be here after you dissolve. You can pass the law, you can staff the hotline, you can criminalize the doctors, you can draw your bottom line. But when a person has decided in the sovereign of their mind, there is no court, no Congress, no committee left to find. That is standing in that chamber, that is clearance at that door. The state ends at the skin and never had a claim for more. You're not protecting life, you're protecting your authority. The fiction at your reach has no ceiling and no floor, but this is the ceiling, this is where your power breaks. A stateless death is the one right no legislation takes.
Stateless death, you never owned it. Stateless death, never will. Stateless death, write all the laws you want. A sovereign will, a sovereign still. Stateless death, stay out of it. Stateless death, it isn't yours. The one thing that falls outside your walls was always mine. Before your first God, before your first flag, before your first God, before any of it.
The state is not God, it just acts like it. And death is the one place that exposes the lie every time.